Chair of Schneider, just having stepped down as Chief Executive. Sir, it is good to see you. Let's get an overview before we dig deep into it. As the economies have slowed down and as recession has arrived, how obvious has that been to you that there has to be a rethink?
Look, in the sector we are covering, which are technologies for sustainability, energy efficiency, and energy transition to electrification, we don't see at all a recession. Actually, we see an acceleration. We are a very global company. Europe is 1/4 of our sales. Our largest market is the US. We have a very balanced presence around the world. And what you see around the world is very different. You see many companies engaging in a journey to sustainability, and we are the partner of 40% of the Fortune 500 companies on that journey. You see digital being used for efficiency on the shop floor, in smart buildings, in smart homes, in smart cities, everywhere. And finally, electrification, which is the center point of Schneider, is going to grow in everything we do. Today is 20% of what we do in the world, and it's going to double to triple in the next 20 to 30 years. So
but
what you see at the moment...
In the deployment of capital, so for example, you know, I was just reading some notes on your expansion, or the expansion that you put forward for India and places like that. In the deployment of where you put capital now and in the future, where does that shift continue?
That we don't shift. I mean, we are pushing on all geographies. You have emerging countries like India, which has become our third largest country in the world, where we employ 35,000 people. Then you've got North America, which is our largest market, where we have been investing 300 million over the past 5 years in manufacturing capabilities for more capacities. You see requests to retrofit existing infrastructure. That is the purpose of the IRA, and to make it greener and more sustainable. And at the same time, when you go to countries like India or Africa, it's about supplying energy to the 800 million people who don't have access to electricity, or supporting the huge plan of urbanization, industrialization, and digitization, which is taking place. So that demand that we see is absolutely global.
So if we shift away from, if you will, the hard economics and business, and just look at the role of the CEO. You were there for many years and you saw how CEOs' roles changed. We often say on Questions Business, the CEO now has to become the moral barometer in many cases, picking up the slack where governments or other organizations don't. How did you adapt where you had to take positions, you had to take moral positions in certain cases and make certain decisions?
Yeah, Richard, I had the privilege to be 20 years CEO of Schneider Electric, and I've been through several crises and through several changes of the world environment. Where I see the role of CEOs has changed dramatically is that it's not only economic anymore. It's about taking care of all the stakeholders. It's about the stakeholder economy. It's about taking care of all the dimensions of environmental, social, and governance. We've been in that space, Schneider Electric, very much at the forefront of that evolution. And we've taken role to the communities around us, to the youth in the countries or in the places, in the communities where we operate. We have been proactive in the field of environment to the point that now we are a partner of our customers, a major partner of our customers in that field, and taking care of diversity and inclusion also.
Right, but
the role of the CEO has expanded into all those directions.
It has, and most CEOs, or many CEOs, fail, or at least find it very difficult when they have to get into the political area, or they have to get into, I mean, whether it be LGBTQ, whether it be a woman's right to choose, whether it be all these issues. Some CEOs are finding, did you ever find it difficult?
Yeah, it is difficult. The world is complex. The world is made of contradiction. And a company has a role to play in making the world better. So the reason why I went into business is that it's a place where you can have an impact. And you can have an impact because we have capabilities, we have project managers, we have talents around the world, we have the financial capability, we have the technologies to change things. Now, in some cases, your decisions are a compromise between different directions. But what's important is to align your purpose, your strategy, your values, and to be consistent with them and to explain why you are taking that position. You have also coalitions of companies that help you to do it better. We were one of the early members of the United Nations Global Compact. That is a community of like-minded companies that work to go beyond the economics and work into all the dimensions of ESG. So that has helped us to work within the company and with our larger ecosystem.
Thank you, sir. I'm very grateful. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.